Hi, I'm Stephanie and let's talk books. So today I wanted to talk about all of the books that I would like to read in the month of February. Now, for me, February is going to be kind of a crazy month. I have a bunch of races. I also have 3 trips going on in the month of February. Plus, it's a short month. I mean, it's leap year, so we get 1 extra day, but we're still like a couple of days short of a normal month. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and get into my TBR. So first up is my next Wheel of Time book. I'll be reading The Gathering Storm, which is book 12 of Wheel of Time. This is my audiobook for the month. I will probably finish this before the end of the month, so if I do, I might move on to the next one or pick up something else if I need a break from Wheel of Time, but this will be my main audiobook focus for the month. In January, I put a couple of Star Wars books on my TBR to go towards my science fiction reading goal, and this month I wanted to put some non-Star Wars sci-fi on there, so I have picked up Illuminae, which looks really cool. I'm very interested to get into the format of this book because it's not a traditional prose novel. It has more of like a multimedia feel, as there's transcripts and recordings and different sorts of documents, so it's kind of like you're reading through like some partially redacted government files on something, and that just sounds really fascinating. Plus the story is about the end of the world and 2 teenagers in space, so sounds good. And the other book that I wanted to pick up is The Martian. I really enjoyed the movie adaptation of this book, and I have heard that this one, it has a lot more of the science. It's more of a hard science fiction where there's a lot of sciencey things going on, which makes me really excited. If you guys don't know, I have a master's degree in chemistry, so I like nerd stuff, and I'm excited to try out a science fiction book that has more of that hard sci-fi. I tend to pick up ones that are more fantastical and less focus on, like, this is kind of like a near sci-fi where it's like, all right, we can't colonize Mars right now, but we could, like, in a reasonable amount of time. We'll see. I'm really excited about it. I also picked it because it's kind of short, so I thought it would be good to check out some short books this month. I am doing a Mistborn read-along during the month of February. The reading plan has us taking February and March to read Mistborn. I don't think I'll be able to stretch this book out for 2 months, given how I felt about the Stormlight Archive buddy read that I did, and that was Stormlight Archive over an entire month. I had a really hard time with that. I know there's a lot of people who enjoy having, 3, 4, 5 books going on at the same time. I don't. 3's kind of my limit. I really prefer to have 2, 1 physical book and 1 audiobook. It'll be a little bit easier because this is a reread for me, but I don't think that my brain will handle really well if I take 2 months, so I might just read this in 1 month and take a break and then move on to the next book when the read-along group gets there. I'll be doing an annotated reread of Mistborn. I'm really excited for that because I love nerding out about the Cosmere, and I found so many nuggets in Stormlight, and I can't wait to see what I find in Mistborn. There's 1 new release that I'm going to be reading in February, and that is the next book in the Legends of the First Empire series. This one, Age of Myth, is book number 1. The next book, which is Age of Death, is coming out in February. I've already got it pre-ordered, so assuming that Amazon actually ships it to me in a reasonable amount of time, then I will be picking that one up because the last book, man, such a cliffhanger. I need to know what happens, and I'm so excited that it's finally getting released. And lastly, I have Alcatraz versus the Evil Librarians. This is the first book in Brandon Sanderson's middle grade series, and I wanted to throw something in there that was short and light, so if I feel like my brain needs a break either from the new project I'm on at work or just traveling too much, or maybe some of these larger books that I'm reading are just a little bit too much for me, that I wanted to have an option for something light, quick, and fun. I thought this would be a great one. These books are really hilarious and a little bit ridiculous, and you know what? Sometimes you just want light and hilarious and ridiculous. So those are the books I'm planning on reading in the month of February. As always, if I do a really great job and I read all these books, then I'll pick up something else because I got tons of books to read. And if not, it's probably because I was too busy binge watching the Game of Thrones. So, let me know what you are excited to read in February, and I will see you later.